Webhooks in make.com are so incredibly powerful. If you're not using this one operation in make.com, webhooks, you're missing out and your business is gonna suffer because of it. But before we go into how to use it and why you should be using it, I wanna show you it in practicality so you can get an understanding of what you can kind of do with it. So in front of me, I have a form on Elementor WordPress. And when a user comes in and they fill in their information, keep in mind this could be a lead form of somebody inquiring with your business, it's going to give me a call automatically. So in front of me, I got my phone. I'm just gonna pan back to myself here, and the lead has come in. You can see maybe that email, and here we go, here's the call.
Webhooks are so powerful.
Perfect, and that's a little bit of, that's like a little voice actor I programmed into the call, and you can do all of that kind of stuff using webhooks. Hey guys, my name is Jono, and today, obviously, we're gonna be talking about webhooks and how you can use them. Now, the thing is when it comes to make.com, Make just essentially integrates thousands of different software applications together, which is awesome, right? Because all of a sudden, maybe you wanna have a Google form, submit information through make.com and maybe send off an email in Gmail, or maybe you wanna have records show in Google Sheets. The thing is it just connects applications together. But a lot of the time, these applications, they don't have a built-in integration in make.com, right? So you can't just natively use their built-in integration, but that doesn't mean that you can't connect them, right? It just means you got to think outside of the box, and that is where webhooks come in. So for all of those apps, or at least most of them that don't have built-in native functionality to allow you to connect into them, you can use webhooks, and most of them have webhook functionality. So if we take a look at my make.com account, I process about 600,000 automations every single month. It replaces the equivalent of like 30 full-time people. I'll actually just show you my scenarios. Now, these are all the scenarios that I have. Now, keep in mind, you don't need to know necessarily what it is or what they do. All I want you to take a look at is the first icon here. This first icon here that I have hovered over, this is a webhook, right? So in the visual here, you can see how many different scenarios I'm using webhooks for. So I currently have 90 active scenarios. And if you were to count these up, I would bet you probably over 50% of them require a webhook. So right here, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 out of 9 of the top scenarios I'm using webhooks for, right? So almost everything, I mean, it's just staggering. Like this is like maybe 25 out of 30, almost every single one of them I'm using webhooks for, right? So it's super powerful stuff. I use it for pretty much nearly, just eyeballing it, probably 67% of all my automations use webhooks. And this is not uncommon. This is like, for most of your applications, you're probably going to have to use webhooks in one way or another. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to give you 2 realistic scenarios in this short tutorial on how you can integrate webhooks into your system, and I'll walk you through exactly how to set it up. Okay, so we're gonna go over and we're gonna set up a new lead automation here, right? So you can use any web builder you want. You could use WordPress, you could use Go High Level, you could use Weebly, Wix, likely. Actually, I don't know about Weebly and Wix, but I just assume Lead Pages. All of these different, website builders, you're going to be able to create a form, and as long as you can send information via webhook, you'll be able to catch it in make.com. So we'll go ahead and we'll create a new scenario here, okay? And the first thing we're going to do is hit this giant purple plus button. I'm sure you can't miss it. And we're going to type in webhook, okay? And this is a built-in integration in make.com. And there's 3 options. There's custom mail hooks, which we'll get into in another video. There's custom webhooks, and then there's an action here, right? Webhook responses. The difference between trigger and actions is triggers start the workflow, right? So we want to use these webhooks to initiate a sequence of actions, right? And when I mean initiate a sequence of actions, I mean when this webhook catches information. So when information is sent to that webhook, then I want you to do a specific amount of action. So for example, when a form is submitted on my website, I want information to be sent from that form via webhook into make.com. I want it to be caught here, and maybe I want to add information to Google Sheets. Or maybe at the beginning of the call, like I showed you, I want to initiate a call, right? And I want to call myself as an example. So the first step is custom webhook, right? So essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna catch information that's sent over here. So I know it seems a bit complicated, but it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it, and we're gonna break it down in this video. So all you gotta do is you gotta add your webhook here, and you can give it a name. Now, the important thing is you want to label it correctly, because when you start using webhooks, you're going to have millions of these. Well, maybe not millions, but dozens and dozens and dozens. If we go over to the webhooks tab here, you'll actually see that I have so many freaking webhooks, and it can get quite clustered, and it's easy to forget just which webhook does what. So it's really important to label them properly. So just myself, I probably had like 200 webhooks there. So I'll just do test new lead webhook tutorial. And I'm gonna go ahead and click save. You can enter in IP restrictions to restrict certain addresses. So maybe you only want specific websites to be able to send you information, but for likely, I would just guess the vast majority of you out there, you're probably not going to need to use this. I've never used it once. So we can go ahead and click save. This is more for privacy if you want to control, which domains or which computers can, or which servers can send information and be accepted in this particular webhook. But for me, I don't care. I'm just going to go ahead and save it there. Okay, awesome. So this has been created, and you can actually see the webhook here. So if we send information to this webhook, it's going to be received here, and then we can start processing things. So let's say we want to build a workflow where we receive leads, right? So somebody inquires on our website, and we send that information to make.com, and we want to push that. Maybe let's say we want to push that into a CRM so that we can send automated text messages or automated emails to that particular client, right? What we do is we go into wherever you're hosting your website. So I'm just going to go ahead and log into mine here. And I'm actually going to create a page. Okay. So don't worry about this part. Like if you're not, I'm using WordPress here. You do not have to use WordPress. You can use whatever web builder you want. I'm just using Elementor and WordPress, so it might be slightly different, but I want to skip over the semantics or skip over the nuances of WordPress and just show you the exact details that you need to know. So on any website builder, you're going to have the capability to create a form, right? And in this form, you can enter in any information you want. We'll just stick to name, email, and message. And in the form builder, you should be able to submit a webhook. So in this particular case, we're doing actions after submit. We're hitting the plus sign, and there should be a webhook action here, right? So when the form is submitted, we're sending a webhook. And you'll notice this drop-down button became available. We can do advanced data here to send every single piece of information we could possibly collect in the form. And we need to submit a URL here, right? So it's asking us for a URL. And where we get that URL is back in make.com. So we can come back here and we can copy and paste this webhook to the clipboard, and then we'll paste it in here, right? And if we were just to paste it into the browser and load it in, it would say accepted, right? And essentially what's going on here is, just to break it down a bit more technically, this is just some random ID, right? That's assigned to this particular endpoint, so that anything that sends information here will always start this webhook. It's unique to you, right? Nobody else has access to this endpoint. It's only for you, right? So I guess that was a bit technical, but we can go ahead and we can click save on here, and we can publish the page, and we can preview the changes. So now when we go ahead and we enter in information, this is awesome. Before we click send here, we just wanna run this scenario so that it's actively listening for responses, and we've sent a response to it by clicking send. You can see your form was successful here, and now we've received that information, right? So now we have this information in make.com. You can see the information here, the ID, the name of the form, the fields, the name, and all of the information associated with it, right? So what you can do here is you can actually hit the download output bundles, and it's going to give you all of the information in a particular JSON format. If you guys are new to JSON, it's going to be a bit confusing, but this is just an easier way to scan all the information without having to click on the buttons to see what's nested within. But yeah, you can see the fields here, the name. You can see with this particular name field here, which is just essentially this input field right here, right? So when somebody put in this, their name here, you can see the ID of that field is name, and the type is a text field, and the title is name, and the value is my first name, right? So I put in my first name, and that's the value, right? Same kind of deal with the email. ID equals email, type equals email, title equals email. And the great thing is now that we have this information stored within make.com, now we can use this for whatever else we want to do. So let's say, for example, we want to send this off to a Google Sheet. Well, we can go ahead and we can just add a row, right? So maybe you want to track all of the different leads that we're getting in Google Sheets. So we've created the module here, and we just have to select the right sheet. So I'm actually going to go ahead and create a new sheet here. So I've gone into Google Sheets, I've created a new sheet, and this is going to be test leads. We're going to just put some column headers in here. So we're going to say name, email, message, ID. Okay, 4 things we want to collect here, and we're going to load this sheet in. So I'm just going to make sure I have the right integration. This is connected to my personal email address. So I just need to make sure I choose the right email address here. And then we can go ahead and select from all. And I'm going to copy this name in here and search by the name, press OK. And now we found the spreadsheet ID. We can go ahead and choose sheet 1, which happens to be this. I could do test leads down here, and it would go ahead and once it refreshes down here, it'll be test leads, and then we can enter in that information, right? So name, we're just gonna map it from the webhook field here, or we're gonna enter in the custom variables from the webhook there. So we can go in the fields, the name and the value. So this will output Jono, and then we'll do the email. Same kind of deal with the email here. We'll do the value equals my email, and then the message equals the value of the message, and then the ID, you can go ahead and put the form ID there. Okay, perfect. So we have this set up. Let's see what's missing here. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and ignore these particular variables and save anyways, turn it on, and we're gonna run this, and we're gonna try this form one more time. Okay, that's a pretty cool test message there. Okay, awesome. So let's see. We have submitted the form. It was successfully submitted. And now we've received it in the webhook. You can see the information, right? The message was test, all of that kind of stuff, email, same kind of email here. And now in the Google Sheet, we've pushed information into that Google Sheet from the webhook, right? So in the Google Sheet here, you can actually see the values displayed, right? The name, email, message, ID, and this was caught, or this information came from the form. It was sent via a webhook, received via a webhook, and then we processed that information and we put the custom variables in the right locations. So the name associated with the name, the email associated with the email, the message associated with the message, the ID associated with the ID. And then we sent that information into Google Sheets. So that's a very simple way that you can use webhooks to essentially receive information from pretty much any different piece of software. It could be a website form, it could be a piece of software, it could be really anywhere that you can send information from one location to the next. And that's why it's so powerful, because it's gonna unlock thousands of new opportunities for you to connect softwares together that you previously thought potentially weren't possible. So this is really how you can automate pretty much all of your business and integrate all of the different software stack together that you're currently using. Just as one final example before we part ways here, for me, when I was using make.com, there was a lot of different software pieces that weren't available. Like when I started out, ClickUp here was not a thing, right? ClickUp just didn't have triggers, it didn't have actions, but now they currently do. Go High Level, which is the software that I use for my CRM, it has an automation here, an integration, but for the longest time, it didn't have an automation. I couldn't connect into it, right? So for all of these up and coming software applications that you may potentially be using, a lot of them are focusing on their own internal processes and improving their own app, but they're not focusing on places like Make.com or Zapier, which is a pain because if you want to integrate into them, well, there's no native functionality to integrate into them. So you're probably gonna have to use something like Webhooks. So I hope you guys found this video enjoyable. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this type of content and you want to learn more about Make.com, Zapier, Go High Level, automation, how to scale a business, then please hit the subscribe button down below. Please hit the thumbs up. If you guys want to chat or you're interested in consultation to help automate your business, please reach out on Instagram, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.